This ain't nothing for the pack. Got 16 sitting in the lap. Whole squad all dressing all black. Every single last one of them got my back. 20 of us, that's 20 goons in the ice cream whip, triple scoop. I got 3 strikes, ain't got to lose. When it's all on the line, what you gonna do? Come on, I'm highly favored. Don't wanna play me, no conversation. Ain't got time for no debating. It's for the taking, no hesitation. Don't try my patience. I'ma pour out one for the set, boy, till there's nothing left. On a run to the bread until we all got them baguettes. Hear them footsteps coming, cause we coming for the check. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. Knows my dogs, they by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die, die, die. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. As long as my dogs stay by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die, die, die.
Up this magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have it? Look in the mirror, now I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dream's reality, not going back to. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laughing. Now I hit the scene, they like lights, camera, action. Living in a dream, now my music, they be blasting. Step out, I'm a star, always in the latest fashion. Had to set the bar, try to catch me lacking. Bank account for my son, he won't have to struggle. You could see it in my eyes.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll get a chance to see Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings as they take on Dak Prescott and the defending NFC East champs, the Dallas Cowboys. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We are sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas, and Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. A moment ago, here was the scene with the Cowboys emerging from their tunnel. It was loud. It's still loud. We're ready for football as the Cowboys get set to match up with the Minnesota Vikings. Hello again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden, joined as always by Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Cowboy team entering play. They're halfway home, looking good, and a perfect 8-0.
And not much to complain about so far, is there? I'd have to say they're the best.
For our visitors, the Vikings. They were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Vikings heading out, and it's Kirk Cousins at the helm in his second season in purple and white, 8th year overall. 30 touchdown passes for him a season ago. That's a career high as he aims to get the Vikings back into the postseason. A quick throw taken in by Diggs. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down. Well, let's take a look here at the offense for Minnesota.
And they come off a tough loss last week, and what's their reward? A second straight road game. Rarely are teams happy about scheduling. They're always calling the league office saying, how come we have this game and that game? But when you're coming off of a loss on the road and you go right into another one, that's a difficult task.
Throwing on 2nd and 8, Cousins. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. DeMarcus Lawrence racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple.
So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. 3rd and long for Cousins. It's complete to Laquan Treadwell. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. A run for Tony Pollard, the Memphis product. They'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line. And the offensive starters for Dallas.
It's so good to see big number 72 Travis Frederick back in a Cowboys uniform. Remember, he missed all of last season with Guillain-Barré syndrome. And prior to that, he'd been to the Pro Bowl 4 straight times at center. And his return, a huge boost to the offensive line. Better to have him in uniform than coaching.
On 2nd down, it's Pollard. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
They'll go with Pollard here on 1st down. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. On 2nd down now, Pollard. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and about 7 left. We'll look now at our starting defense. They are number 2 in the NFL against the run right now, Charles.
Numbers don't tell you everything, but they do paint a pretty good picture. We're talking about 2 top 5 units going at each other. 1 in running the ball, 1 in stopping the run. I think this is going to be a whole lot of fun myself.
Here's the man who's led the league in rushing twice in 3 seasons, Ezekiel Elliott. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Play action now. Cousins. And his throw is incomplete. They were trying to get it there to Josh Doxson, and it'll bring up third down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38. And they will finally get to him, but a great return has set him up first and goal at the 5. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
From the 2 now, second and goal. Now Prescott, and he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line. Ben Gideon coming in hard that time on the blitz, and he gets him down. It's a loss of 4. Here's Elliott. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Well, if this defense can hold them to a field goal here, what a win that would be.
Not just a win on the possession, but psychologically take over the ball game. This started with first and goal, so they were in 4-down territory right from the beginning. I say you finish it off and go for the touchdown.
Of course, the door for Maher was opened after a little bit of a surprise move. The Cowboys letting go of Dan Bailey last year.
Yeah, Maher took over in the preseason. He's from Nebraska via the Canadian Football League where he kicked for 4 years. And I saw him personally make 2 game-winning field goals last season against Detroit and in Atlanta.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
To throw again on second down. Cousins. And his pass incomplete. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on second down. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Now Austin. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the number 1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in. But I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're number 1 in their conference.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a 1st? So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Run for Pollard. These are his numbers from last week's contest. And Charles, how do you think he ran the football?
I thought he definitely had his moments. I did think that they could have utilized him a little bit better, and I'm definitely going to keep an eye on him to see how they're going to use him this week.
On the draw, it's Pollard. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Making the stop there, Daniil Hunter. Play action now. Prescott. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
They start the drive with a dual look. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. The Vikings on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 9. To throw, Cousins. And that is incomplete. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
Here's Austin. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And possession will switch hands. 1st and 10. Amari Cooper and the Cowboys set to take over once again. 2nd quarter, a guy like him, no catches, so that's the surprising part. But they're winning, so maybe they've been able to do some other things effectively, I guess.
And they found other ways, haven't they? Because the receivers will tell you, offense needs to run through us, but they're managing to get it done in this ball game without having to actually do that. I wouldn't expect them to stay silent for the rest of the game, though.
Yeah, you got to think that his first catch is coming at some point. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Hey, kill.
Now a shotgun handoff to Pollard. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Escaping the pressure right. Looking deep in the direction of Cooper. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Amazing. Perfectly placed. If that ball goes 1 extra yard, maybe not even an extra yard, the starting point is the 20.
So there is a reason that a lot of punters are also excellent golfers. They know distance control. You know what else they have? Same groove motion over and over. Once they have that down, it repeats under pressure.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. On 2nd down, it's Johnson. And he's able to get him a small cushion before being taken down at the 5, a gain of 3. The Vikings on 3rd down. Not good, 0 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Cousins. Open man, David Morgan, the tight end. And he is going to get the 1st down, it looks like, as he's up to the 12. So a little more space to operate now. 1st and 10 from right around the 12.
They'll run it with Johnson. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes. Running for the first time with a fullback, C.J. Ham. And he'll be taken down at the 18. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for first. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And that will be incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. Colquitt on the kick as he sends it away. This is fielded at the 27. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So here are the Cowboys to take over. They've gone 2 months without a loss. 8 straight wins for them. And they've got the lead here in this one as well, trying to make it 9 in a row. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Elliott. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo. Hey, kill. 47, 26.
Prescott off play action. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And a little floater there, but it'll wind up incomplete, falling to the ground. Randall Cobb, the intended receiver, and it's third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. And now here's a deep shot that's complete. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 30. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. A first down throw for Prescott. He's going to float this one deep right side. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
It's hauled in by Doxson. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. Throwing, Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Cousins now to throw on first down. It's complete to Diggs. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. They go play action. Cousins. And Diggs has it. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 16 yards, a first down. To throw is Cousins. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march up another 15 against your squad.
He'll find Diggs once more on the completion. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down. So 5 plays on this drive, Charles. All passes, all completions. And just like that, they're in the red zone.
And don't you think the playbook opens up a little bit more now? Because all they've done is throw the football. If you want to run it now, you may very well have them fooled.
The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Throwing again on second down. Cousins. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Cousins again. This is caught. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. So a couple of field goals, that's all we've been able to muster through 2 quarters of play. 6-0 is our count at the break. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman. So I'm waltzing down Main Street, got an umbrella, just a torrential downpour, and I look over, and this guy, stone-faced, wearing a poncho that says, "Don't rain on my parade," and he is just angry. And we got to go. I'll tell you the rest later. Here we go, 3rd quarter.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
Dak and the Cowboys ready for their next possession. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the 3rd quarter.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
On 2nd down now, Pollard. They get 8 yards back there. They could use another one of those now on 3rd and 7. On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And he'll have his man. That's Cooper. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Hey, check 24. Check 64. Green, 55 to Mike. Check 55 to Mike. Hey, we're pretty quiet, team. 26.
Prescott to throw it. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Now Pollard. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits, and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Check. Crunch. 61. Max. Right. Check. Hey, kill. 26.
Now it's a bootleg with Prescott. Caught by Cobb. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A good pickup there, 21 yards. A first down carry by Elliott. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Kill. 47. 66. Mike spot 4. There we go. Kill. 26.
Off the play fake, Prescott. His throw incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
He's got his target. It's Cobb. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Let's go.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that.
And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Tony Pollard, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's Abdullah running right, trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Tackle there by Leighton Vander Esch. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you, because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play, because that's been an issue for them in this game. On the delay, this is Abdullah, and he's going to come up a few yards short. Brought down at the 45. Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on 4th down. Well, the returns for the Cowboys on Leighton Vander Esch have been pretty good so far. You know, a lot of Cowboy Nation questioned when they took him number 19 overall a season ago instead of Calvin Ridley. But Leighton Vander Esch would get 140 tackles last year. Franchise rookie record for Dallas en route to a Pro Bowl appearance. A reminder coming up tomorrow night. Monday Night Football comes your way, 8:15 Eastern. Seahawks, 49ers from Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. They'll run with Pollard to begin the drive. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Let's get off the field. Let's get off the field.
Going to run again here with Pollard. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. Here it's 3rd and 2. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. Here's Pollard again. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take.
This is caught inside the 15. A big play here for Dallas. 48 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On play action, Prescott. They'll roll him out right. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Randall Cobb, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that will make this a 19-point game. So that a 7-play, 80-yard drive. And it culminates in a Dallas touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points. You feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the...
Amir Abdullah, 30. And he takes this down deep on the Cowboys side of the field.
We got this.
A big play there for Minnesota. 61 yards. Line of scrimmage moves from their own 25 all the way to the red zone now for 1st and 10. They go back to Abdullah on 1st. And he's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Throwing his Cousins. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Laquan Treadwell, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. And if you blinked, you probably missed that touchdown drive. It happened in a hurry.
I was just putting mustard on my hot dog, and all of a sudden he's in the end zone. I've got to do a better job of paying attention for this quick strike offense.
I thought you weren't going to tell your wife about the hot dogs in the booth thing.
I just did, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. You did. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And our focus now moves to Randall Cobb. Let's see here, Charles. 6 catches, over 100 yards. Call that a pretty good day at the office.
And I love the accumulation, the catches, the yardage. That means he's having a pretty good impact on this ball game and really helping his team out in a big way.
Means he wants the football again, right?
And it's funny because some of these receivers are very vocal about how much they're getting it. Others are quieter, but they still let you know, give me the ball, I'm going to make a play.
1st down, and it's Pollard again. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
After the penalty, it's Elliott. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
Let's go deep tight. Let's go deep tight.
On 2nd down, Pollard. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be a 3rd and about 13. So 1st and 2nd down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that will make this now a 15-point advantage. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
So Cousins and the Vikings down by 15. A minute 55 remaining. Their offense has struggled all night, and now they need to find 2 scores late to try to pull this thing out. A pass there over the middle to start things out. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Cousins. He completes it to Abdullah. 1st down now, but the clock continues to move. They go play action here on 1st down.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the 1st down, and that's exactly what he did.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. On the run, Abdullah. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking 1st down. 1st down now, but that clock rolling. Cousins to throw it. It's complete. Abdullah. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 4th quarter. To throw again on 2nd down. Cousins looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. He's at the 40, 20, 10, 5, and he will score. Touchdown, Cowboys. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them into the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
So Dak will bring the Cowboys up to go for the 2-point try. Following the interception, here's Prescott. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th. And they turn the pick 6 into a pick 8 with that 2-point conversion.
I love how you upsell. That is outstanding right there. What a big-time play. Big switch in how this game was going, and then they capitalized with a little bit on top.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Back to it after the pick 6. Cousins. He's going to let it fly. That's caught inside the 20. Now whistles and a timeout called here. Not sure of the point of this, but they'll stop it with 4 seconds to go in the game. Line of scrimmage moves from their own 25 all the way to the red zone now for 1st and 10. A dump off for Abdullah. And here he'll get it down to the 7. So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So for the Cowboys, the train just keeps rolling 9-0 now to start this campaign. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Detroit Lions.
And New Orleans, Big Snoop Dogg got a Madden lead. His team is off the hook and you don't really want none, but if you do, come and get some. See, tell your mama and tell your daddy and tell the whole damn world this is Madden territory. Tell your mama and tell your daddy and tell the whole damn world this is Madden territory. Come get some if you want some, but you ain't bad enough, so you can't take none. I'm Big Snoop Dogg and I'm the only one, and when it comes to Madden, all y'all fools my sons. Haha, bag up off me and watch you lose. Snoop Dogg is on the mic, I'm giving Madden blues. And if you choose